2024 Aprilia RSV4 Factory, and today we're going to review it. Hey guys, I'm Alan. You're watching the Fireman Rides. We'll get started. If you see anything that you like, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscriptions are the absolute ultimate compliment to me. So I got to thank the guys over at T's Eurocycle for giving me the keys to this bike. T got this in on trade, has less than 400 miles on it. Said, Alan, dude, take it. Go take it for a ride. So again, go see those guys. The description's down below. So again, like I said, this is a 2024 Aprilia RSV4, and we're just going to take it for a quick ride. It's not a full comprehensive review, just a good ride on the bike. So if you see anything that you like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started.
Setting off on this incredible Aprilia RSV4 Factory. Okay, and if you say, Alan, that doesn't sound like an RSV4. Oh, but it does. This has got the SC Projects short, stubby little exhaust, no resonator, no cats. It's got the tuning to match. This is a mean ass motorcycle. Let me tell you this. Let's give it a little downshift. Holy shit. So the RSV4, man, I'll tell you what, this is a committed motorcycle. But honestly, I still think it's more comfortable than like what an R6 is. You can't even buy them brand new anymore. And R6 was fun, but this has got double the horsepower of a daggum R6. Holy snot! This is something else here, guys. But you know what? You got cruise control right there. Look at that. Let's turn on cruise control. Look at that. Cruise control. Cruise control on a damn superbike. 51 miles an hour. Cruise control, not touching anything. I'm going to now, though, because there's a curve right here. Let's open it up a little bit. Downshifted. Downshift. Goodness gracious. My goodness. That's 70 miles an hour. That's 70 miles an hour without even trying. Wow. What an awesome bike. But it's got all the safety features. I mean, it's got all the safety aids. It's got the rider modes. It's got the multi-levels of traction control and engine braking and all that stuff to try to the engine wants to kill you. I mean, this motor. Listen to this. Listen to this. Let me open my visor up. Listen to this. That motor wants to kill you. It really does. And the rest of the motorcycle is trying to save you. All the electronics, all the nannies, everything else. It's like, listen, I'm trying to save you from yourself, okay? This bike is an absolute beast. Now, in a very similar fashion, my doctor told me that was morbidly a beast, which is awesome. And he said, and I don't know what HD is, but he said I got 80 of them, and that's pretty awesome. All right, so we are in my old stomping grounds of Stanley, North Carolina. And this road is called Black Snake Road. Very cool, kind of famous road. Actually, it was in the news here recently. Denny Hamlin, his parents had a house here, and it burned down. I think his dad passed away in the fire, which is tragic. But a great little curvy road. And what we're going to do is we're just going to ride it a couple times and just kind of see how this bike does. I mean, I think we kind of already know what this bike's going to do, but it's worth trying anyway. Let's go. I mean, and I'm not going above 3,000 RPM. That's the crazy part. This is all very low RPM for a bike that the red line is, you know, 12,000 plus RPM. Now remember, there's some gravel on the road on the right back. Now, like I said, I grew up over here, but I haven't been on this road in years, and it looks very different than when I used to ride this road. But it's still a great little curvy road. I mean, it's called Black Snake. I mean, gosh, what do you expect? And you know, I kind of expected the fueling to be worse on the RSV4 model than on the Tuono. But if you remember back from that video, the stock Tuono that I rode, it felt almost unrideable. It really did. Nice little, oh, that downshift, that burble, just, gosh almighty. Ooh, there's some rocks in the road. Now, I'll probably attribute that to the fact that this one does have the, like I said, it's got the SC Projects exhaust, but it's got the ECU flash to compensate for that. Here's a cool little story. Right down the bottom of this little creek, right, this little bridge, base of this bridge right here, there's a little pond right down there. And me and my buddies used to go fishing right down inside that little pond right there. Check that out. Oh, this brings back memories here. Brings back memories. Here's the old section of Black Snake. I'm trying to keep the RPMs down so I'm not waking up with the whole neighborhood. What a bike. And honestly, with having the cruise control on it, it makes it rideable every day. Here, let's do this. Here, let's cruise control on, cruise control set, 48 miles an hour. I can sit up. Look, I could actually ride the bike like this. I could lean over just and keep my right hand up, you know, just sitting up like this. I can do my left hand. Having cruise control on a bike like this makes it rideable every single day. Now, whether you want to be in that tuck riding position like that, that's a whole different story. But having cruise control really makes this a much more usable motorcycle. Let's do this. Let's pull down here. Let's pull down here in this parking lot. There's a cop down here, but that's all right. Let's ride down here. Let's ride over here. Let's ride. How about right over here? Let's do it in the shade. Yeah, we'll do it in the shade right here. All right, so we pulled over here on the side of the road, and let's take a look at the motorcycle. Can't do anything crazy because there's a cop sitting over in the corner of the parking lot there. But like I said, this is Aprilia's, this is their masterpiece right here. This is the pinnacle of what they have done. This is the 25 model, but really there hasn't been any big differences between the 25 and the 26, and then now the 27 models. So this is the 1099cc V4, 65 degree V4, and that is important because they're the only manufacturer that's currently making a 65 degree V4. Ducati, they have a 90 degree. I think Yamaha's getting ready to come out with their own V4 engine as well, and it's going to be a 90 degree as well. The 65 degree, what it is it makes it, a 90 is a 90. But they went with a 65, which is a smaller size. And what that does is a 90 degree V4 is a naturally balanced motor. But it is a bigger motor because, like I said, the cylinders are further apart and you get that bigger galley between them. And what Aprilia did is they went with a 65. It's a lot narrower, and what that does is that gives you a lot smaller of a package of the engine itself.
Now, a 65 degree is not naturally balanced like what a 90 degree is. So, you know, Aprilia chose that, and they decided to give up a little bit of the smoothness of it for the compactness of it. And you do feel that. It is a little bit coarser of an engine, but it's just a brutally powerful motor. Now, in stock configuration, this motor is putting out anywhere between 217 and 220 horsepower. Just depends on who you're looking at, what dyno, everything else. But with the SC Project exhaust and the tuning, you're probably looking at least another 5 to 10 horsepower. So you're talking 230 pounds in a 450, 460 pound package. Guys, that is a dadgum rocket ship. Power to weight ratio is absolutely through the roof. But what's so cool about Aprilia, what they've done is, like I said, they've given us cruise control on this motorcycle, in addition to all these other rider aids and everything else. So, like I said earlier on the ride, the engine's trying to kill you and the rest of the bike is trying to save you. So having a bike that's got such an extreme riding position is typically one where, you're only taking it out to ride on very, very rare occasions. But again, having that cruise control, this is a bike, not saying I would, but this is a bike that you could ride every single day if you wanted to. Pop it in cruise control and you can kind of prop that arm on the tank or do anything like that and really, ride this bike for extended periods of time. Being 45, going on 46 years old, the riding position of this, and we'll show you that in a minute, is not really one that I would want to do on a regular basis, but you could. Kind of a young man's game, but you could. And again, like I said, having 220, maybe now 230 horsepower on tap, this thing is freaking wicked. All right, so as you can see, the riding position of the bike, the seat is nice and wide. The tank kind of splays your legs out, but you got those nice cutouts, and actually they already have the tank grips on there to really kind of help lock your legs in. And your leg really kind of tucks in right there underneath that tank, and it's sculpted where you can use those legs to really grip that tank, and that's what those are designed for right there. Again, this is a race motorcycle. Can you ride it on the road? Yes. Can you commute on it? Yes. But at the end of the day, this is a race motorcycle that has just been homologated just so they can race it in the World Superbike Series. So as you can see right there, it's a nice tuck position. This is actually pretty comfortable. This is actually a pretty comfortable position right here. And the pegs are back like it's supposed to be on a sport bike, but they're not extreme. I pick on an R6. That was a very extreme riding position of a motorcycle where your feet are way, way, way back here. And again, it's a very, very committed position. This is committed, but it's committed that I could ride all day long. It really is, which is a really cool feature of this bike. But if you see, like I said, you see in the normal riding position, you are leaned over. I mean, you're leaned right over on that tank, and I would definitely get some sort of tank protector to put right there to protect that finish of that tank. That's beautiful speed white paint. But again, leaned over, you're in a committed position. Your clip-ons are underneath the triple tree, which is a very traditional sport bike position. But in the regular riding position, you see it is a very, very committed position. Probably, you're probably at a 60, 65 degree angle leaned over like this. All your weight is on the bars right here, so you got to keep that in mind. A sport bike is it's a young man's game. Not only does it hurt your back, but it also hurts your wrists and everything else. But again, having that cruise control, you could ride like this. You could ride like this with your left hand. If the bike is so balanced, you could, straight piece of road, you could just sit up and just balance the bike, and it would ride like this. So again, cruise control really kind of changes everything really with this motorcycle. All right, so let's do a quick walk around of the bike and let's take a look at everything. So we'll start up front with our suspension. Again, there is our Öhlins electronically adjusted 43 millimeter forks in the front, and then we have our Öhlins adjustable shock in the rear. And again, this system, it's adjusting hundreds, if not thousands of times a second and adjusting for the different settings that you have it set on. Again, we already looked at the riding position there. We got a 33-inch seat height. We have a 4.75 gallon tank. That's actually a pretty good sized tank for what this bike is here. The brakes, those Brembo brakes that we talked about earlier, these are the Brembo. Those are 330 millimeter brakes. Look at those. Those things are freaking huge. And they are the Brembo High Pure radially mounted brakes with their, Brembo master cylinder in the front. Again, you can see, we'll get down really low here, and you can see those aerodynamic packages that Aprilia has really carried over from their World Superbike bikes. And again, the aerodynamics, look at that. those aerodynamics, they really do take effect. And like I said, you got those in the front, but then you also have those in the rear. It's cute. Aprilia puts a little cushion right there, thinking that you're gonna ride a passenger, and they give you passenger pegs. That's cute. I ain't riding a passenger on that. So what you're looking at here is these are forged wheels. These are forged wheels that come from the factory. And again, the factory model is the model that literally has all of the race technology built into it. It's got a 17 by 3.5 inch forged wheel in the front and a 17 by 6 inch forged wheel in the rear. You're looking at your giant aluminum swing arm right there. And again, the whole frame is aluminum. It's a twin spar aluminum chassis that runs all the way through. The engine is a stress member of the frame there. Here you have the Aprilia engine covers, which is nice. And again, they come from the factory like that. This bike comes from the factory, literally ready to hop on and take it to a track and do a track day or race it or we'll do whatever. And there you can see, there's our aerodynamic features on the front, our winglets here. You see those. The tail is a nice kind of tidy tail. Now, yeah, this one does have a tail tidy on it, and it's got an NRC, tail tidy on it with these tiny little recessed LED turn lights. Here's our massive 200 series rear tire, and these are the Pirelli Diablo Super Corsa SPs. These are deadgum. These are race tires. Look at this, guys. They have tread on them, but minimal, and you can see now we did get over just a little bit, but not much. And these are super soft rubber right here. There's that beautiful Olin shock right there in the rear. There's our passenger pegs, which again, I'm not putting a passenger on it. And again, this color is called Speed White. And that makes sense because it's white and this thing's fast. All right, let's take a look at our dash and let's take a look at all of our electronics. Again, Aprilia, this is their corporate TFT screen and it's been reconfigured for this model right here. Now again, you have your normal, Aprilia switches over here on the left-hand side. There's our mode right there at the top. There's our temperature, there's our PRC, there's our gear indicator, there's all of our normal information. Now there's a mode button right here on the right-hand side, and let's press that, and that takes you, it'll go to sport mode, user, and street. Now you can hear, every time I push that button, let's see if you can hear it. Hear that? That's actually the electronic suspension adjusting. Listen to that again. Hear that? That's the suspension adjusting for each one of the settings. And you can go in to the menu. You can go into the menu and look, you can go to the suspension and you can change all of the settings on your suspension. That's what you're getting with the factory model. You can change the display. You can change the backlight of the display. You can do all this good stuff here. Let's go back. Let's go to the dash. You can change all your different settings. Let's look at the service. Let's go to the vehicle. You can change the modes. You can change where your shift light. Shift light is set for 13,400 RPM. Guys, let that sink in. 13,400 RPM where the shift light is set. There's our AQS, which is our quick shifter. There's the, on the left-hand side on this switch right here, you can set that up. Right now it's set for the cruise control. Emergency brake, what that is that if you're slamming on the brakes, it's going to automatically turn on the hazard lights for you. Just all kinds of absolutely cool stuff with this. All your idiot lights are run down the sides of there. So again, guys, this is a freaking incredible motorcycle. This is not a full in-depth review, but this is one that I have been excited to get a hold of. And look at that headlight right there. Look at those daytime running lights. Those are freaking sweet. Guys, this is an awesome bike. And this, like I said, this is mid-April 2026. This bike just got traded into T Zero Cycle, and it's available. And don't know what the price is, don't care. I'm just glad I got to ride it.
All right, guys, so let's wrap this ride up here. So, again, this is a 2025 Aprilia RSV4 Factory with the SC Projects full exhaust. Now, guys, I'm telling you, this exhaust, it sounds good on camera. Oh, it's nothing to what it actually sounds like in person. This sounds so wicked. It really does. And again, I don't think I've gotten over 4,000 RPM the entire time I've been riding this thing. Man, what an awesome bike. What? Ooh, big old rocks in the corner. Big old rocks in the corner. But you know, you almost have to, with this exhaust as loud as this is, and I'm one that I don't like to make a bunch of noise and everything, that you almost have to run it in a higher gear than you want to, just to kind of keep the noise down, which is fine. I mean, it's no big deal. But then whenever you want to show it off, oh God Almighty! Oh jeez! I'm telling you, this is something else. This is something else right here. Drop a gear and just let her sing. Holy hell. And the thing is that the fueling is right on this one. I mean, the fueling is perfect. It'll run fourth gear at 2,500 RPM. And then when you want to get on it, you don't have to shift down. It'll do it right there in fourth gear. And next thing you know, you're doing extremely illegal speeds. Here, let's turn that cruise control back on. Cruise control set. Turn it on. Cruise control set for 50 miles an hour. I can sit up, got my hands, I can play some bongos on the tank here. I can do whatever I want to do. Having cruise control on a bike like this really kind of is a game changer, where you can ride this every single day. And even once you get a little older, you know, not saying I'm not old by any means, I'll fight you on that you can still ride a bike like this and it's not a torture device. Look at that, 2,000 RPM, fourth gear, it'll just rev right through it. Set that cruise control again, 51 miles an hour, and just sit back and cruise. So could you slab on this thing? Yeah, you could slab with it if you wanted to, but you know, this is not a bike it's not happy. It'll do this right here. And actually, like I said, the fueling's a lot better than I actually thought it was going to. But this thing wants to sing. This thing wants to be on a racetrack. This thing wants to get hot. And actually, let's mention that. It's, you know, it's a warm day. It's 80 something degrees today. I have not felt the first bit of heat off this motorcycle, which is really, really impressive. Now, it doesn't have that big old catalytic converter straight underneath of me, so that does definitely play into it. But like I said, it is running as smooth as it can be. Look at that. We're in fourth gear. I'm sitting there. I hadn't put my hands on the steering wheel on the bars, and over a minute, I can sit here and I can steer this thing with my knees and just kind of transfer my weight back and forth on my butt cheeks. But you can't do that if you don't have cruise control. So guys, I'm telling you, this is a hell of a bike, and I would highly, highly recommend it. If this is something that you're interested in, pick one of these things up. I'm telling you, this is a treat. And I got to thank T-Zero Cycle for giving me that. Look at this. I haven't put my hands on. I mean, I'm just sitting there. I could run along. I could sit here and do a thumb war, and again, but I could get right back down here, get back in that sporty position, and really get back in that attack position and ride hard. But all I'm doing is just moving my weight around to go around these curves. This is fantastic. And just tap the brakes, disengage the cruise control, and I'm back in control. I'm not saying I wasn't in control, but I'm back in control. Watch this guy here. All right. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up our ride. We're going to wrap this thing up, and we'll see you back at T-Zero Cycle.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up our ride and review of this Aprilia RSV4 Factory. Again, this is a 2025 model, and it's used, but it's used with 480 miles on it. And if you're interested in this bike or anything used European, look behind me. Look at that big old banner behind me. T-Zero Cycle, Freedom Drive, Charlotte, North Carolina. They've got this bike. They've got, I mean, look out front here. They've got, I mean, BMWs and Ducatis and, I mean, Moto Guzzis and you know, anything you can think of used European, they've got it right here sitting out front, 5 days a week at the dealership on Freedom Drive. Now, if you're interested in a new Aprilia, they've got a brand new 2027 RSV4 Factory in this beautiful purple color that's just, I mean, just it's gorgeous. They got it sitting inside right here. Or any sort of Aprilia, or Moto Guzzi, or Vespa, or Piaggio. They got all those brand new. They're the only dealer in North and South Carolina that carries all those brands in one building. Now, if your thing's more Japanese, the Hondas and the Yamahas and the Kawasaki's and the Suzuki's, or even Polaris next door, Team Charlotte Motorsports. Again, same company, 2 different buildings on Freedom Drive. You can find basically anything you can think of on 2 wheels, 4 wheels, and no wheels. So again, guys, if you see anything that you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. God bless, roll tide, and remember, tomorrow needs you. Thanks, guys.